Chapter 1. The Assassination That Turned into Obsession. In the underworld, there were names people whispered in fear. And then there was Zaid Martin, a name people didn't dare speak at all. Because if you knew him, you were already dead. Zaid was a top-tier assassin, precise, silent, and terrifyingly efficient. No emotions, no attachments, no hesitation, no past. He didn't remember where he came from, didn't remember his parents, didn't even remember his real name. The only thing he knew? He didn't care. The only person who existed in his life was Ivan Larkin, his partner, best friend, and the only human being Zaid tolerated without wanting to stab. Zaid, Ivan sighed one night, watching him clean blood off his dagger like it was a casual hobby. One day you're going to kill someone important and ruin our lives. Zaid didn't even look up. I already do that daily. I meant more important. Define important. Yvonne paused. Rich, powerful, untouchable. Zaid finally looked up. Oh, you mean like my next target? Ivan froze. I hate you. Target, Eldon Knightwood. CEO, billionaire, strategic genius, and emotionally constipated. Eldon Knightwood wasn't just rich, he owned industries. A man whose presence alone could silence a room. Cold, ruthless, untouchable. At least, that's what everyone believed. Except no one had accounted for one fatal flaw. Zaid Martin. The first assassination attempt. It was supposed to be simple. A quiet infiltration into Eldon's penthouse. One clean shot, in and out. Zaid slipped through security like a ghost. No sound, no trace. He entered the bedroom. And there he was. Eldon Knightwood. Standing by the window, back turned, as if he knew someone was coming. Zaid didn't hesitate. He moved. Knife aimed straight for the heart. And then, Eldon turned. Their eyes met. Time stopped. Zaid, calculating the kill angle. Eldon, staring like he just saw the meaning of life. Beautiful, Eldon whispered. Zaid blinked. What? And that was his first mistake. Because in that 1 second of confusion, Eldon moved. Not to attack him, but to grab his wrist. Not tight, not defensive. Just gentle. Don't go, Eldon said softly, eyes locked onto his. Stay. Zaid stared at him like he had just lost his mind. I came here to kill you. I know. And you're asking me to stay? Yes. You're insane. Eldon smiled. Only for you. Zaid kicked him in the chest and jumped out the window. Mission failed. Dignity also questionable. And then it got worse. Zaid tried again. And again. And again. Poison? Eldon drank it, smiled, and said, if it's from you, I'll accept it. Sniper attempt? Eldon waved at him from the balcony. Car explosion. Eldon walked out of the flames like a drama hero and asked, are you hurt? Zaid, visibly losing his sanity. Meanwhile, Eldon Knightwood, once known as the coldest CEO alive, had now become a lovesick idiot. Peak obsession behavior. Installed extra security, just so Zaid could break through it. Left windows unlocked. Fired bodyguards who tried to stop Zaid. Smiled whenever Zaid tried to kill him. Started calling him my beloved. Zaid, after his 7th failed attempt. I'm going to actually kill you this time. Eldon smiling softly. I look forward to it. Why are you like this? Because it's you. Zaid turned to Ivan that night and said, I want a refund on this mission. Rejection era, aka Eldon, the sad puppy. Eldon confessed. Multiple times? Marry me. No. Stay with me. No. I love you. Seek help. Each rejection made Eldon visibly deflate. Like a kicked puppy. Even his secretary, Laurent Rasmus, couldn't take it anymore. Sir, Laurent said one day, watching Eldon stare at Zaid's blurry CCTV image like it was a masterpiece. You haven't slept? I don't need sleep. You whispered Zaid in your meeting with shareholders. Did I? Yes. Good. Laurent, internally screaming. The intervention. Yvonne and Laurent met. Bonded over mutual suffering. I can't take this anymore, Yvonne groaned. Zaid tried to stab him during lunch. Sir, let him, Laurent replied calmly. He even moved his tie aside. Your boss is worse. Your friend started it. Fair. After a long silence, Yvonne slammed a book on the table. Solution. Laurent raised a brow. A novel? Yes, it's trending. A BL story. And? We distract them. The worst idea ever. Zaid was forced to sit down. Eldon sat next to him. Too close. Move, Zaid said. No. I will stab you. You already tried. I will succeed this time. I believe in you. Zaid opened the book aggressively. Read 3 lines. Closed it. This is garbage. Eldon glanced at it. Read 2 lines. This is boring. Ivan, read more. Laurent, please. Zaid flipped a few more pages. His eye twitched. This alpha is pathetic. Eldon nodded. Agreed. This Enigma is worse. Agreed. Zaid stood up. I'm killing both of you. Sit down, Ivan snapped. Zaid glared. Then, in pure irritation, he threw the book straight at Ivan's head. Read it yourself. Boom. The moment the book left his hand, it glowed. Bright, blinding. What the? Ivan started. The room shook. Wind howled. Light swallowed everything. Zaid's eyes widened. Eldon reached out. Zaid! And then, darkness. Silence. And when Zaid opened his eyes again, he was no longer in his world. And far, far away, a certain emperor was about to fall in love with him all over again. Chapter 2. Transmigrated into marriage? Zaid woke up with a strong urge to stab someone. That at least felt normal. What didn't feel normal was the ceiling. It was too fancy. Gold carvings, silk drapes, intricate patterns that screamed royalty and expensive taste. Zaid blinked slowly. Where the hell am I? He sat up and immediately froze. Long sleeves, soft fabric, layers of clothing that looked like they belonged in a historical drama. Zaid stared at his hands. Why do I look like I belong in a museum? Before he could process further, the door burst open. Your Highness. Zaid turned sharply, instinctively reaching for a weapon that wasn't there. A man rushed in. Familiar face, familiar voice. Yvonne. Except, dressed like a noble guard. Zaid narrowed his eyes. Why do you look like you joined a historical cosplay competition? Ivan stopped. Stared at him. Zaid? Ivan? Silence. Then, oh hell no, Ivan whispered. Exactly, Zaid muttered. The realization hits. Within the next 5 minutes, chaos unfolded. They were inside the BL novel. Zaid had transmigrated into a docile alpha consort. Yvonne had become his closest confidant and most loyal subject. Zaid sat there, absorbing all of it with a blank face. I'm married. Yvonne nodded slowly. To the Emperor. An Enigma Emperor. Yes? Zaid leaned back, covered his face. Kill me. Gladly, Ivan replied. But you'll just respawn here. This is worse than death. And then, it hit him. Zaid lowered his hand, eyes narrowing dangerously. Wait. Ivan blinked. What? If we're here, then? Those 2 idiots are here too. Ivan's face went pale. You mean? Zaid stood up instantly. Where is the Emperor? The discovery. Zaid didn't walk. He stormed. Servants panicked as the docile Alpha marched through the palace like a war general. Your Highness. Move. They moved. Fast. Zaid reached the Emperor's private quarters just as voices echoed from inside. The court will not accept this so easily, Your Majesty. Zaid froze. That voice. Laurent. I don't care about the court, another voice replied calmly. I care about him. Zaid's eye twitched. That voice. There was no way. If he refuses again, Laurent asked. A pause. Then I'll just make him fall in love with me again. Zaid, oh, you've got to be kidding me. He didn't think. He didn't knock. He kicked the door open. And there they were. The Emperor stood near the window. Tall, regal, dressed in black and gold robes that screamed power and dominance. And yet, the moment his eyes landed on Zaid, he froze. Laurent turned as well, eyes widening slightly. For a second, everything went silent. Because standing there, in soft, elegant robes, long hair tied loosely, expression annoyed and eyes sharp, Zayd looked exactly like what the novel described. A beautiful, delicate, docile alpha consort. Except, there was nothing docile about the way he was glaring. Eldon stared, and stared, and then, his face turned red. "Beautiful," he whispered. Laurent closed his eyes. Yvonne, who had just arrived, face-palmed. Zayd looked ready to commit murder. The explosion. "They're here too," Zayd said flatly. No one questioned it, because it was obvious. Same faces, same voices, same idiocy. "You transmigrated," Zayd continued, pointing at Eldon and Laurent. Laurent nodded calmly. "It seems so." Eldon didn't respond, because he was still staring. "Say something," Zayd snapped. Eldon blinked slowly, then smiled. "My wife looks beautiful today." Silence was the only thing Yvonne and Laurent could offer to their king at that very moment. "Zayd, I'm going to kill you." The threat versus the dream. Zayd stepped forward, eyes sharp, voice dripping with menace. "Listen carefully," he said, pointing at Eldon. "Even in this world, I will make you regret chasing me." His tone, pure threat. His expression, pure danger. His presence, absolutely not docile. But Eldon wasn't listening. Because his brain had already gone somewhere else. "He's my husband. My legal husband. An alpha. My alpha. We can have children. Our children." A small version of him. Eldon's face turned redder. "Adorable," he murmured. Zayd's eye twitched violently. "Did you just ignore everything I said?" Eldon stepped closer. Slowly. Gently. And reached out. Only for Zayd to slap his hand away. "Touch me and I'll break it." Eldon smiled softly. "Then I'll use the other one." "You're insane." "Only for you." The new dynamic begins. Laurent sighed, rubbing his temples. "This is going to be a problem." Yvonne nodded. "A big one." Meanwhile, Zayd looked like he was seconds away from committing regicide. Eldon looked like he was seconds away from writing wedding vows again. "You're not escaping," Eldon said calmly, gaze unwavering. Zayd smirked. "Try stopping me." "Oh," Eldon replied softly, stepping closer again. "I don't plan to stop you." Zayd frowned. "I plan to make you stay." Silence. Zayd stared at him, then scoffed. "Delusional. Persistent. Annoying. In love. I will kill you. I'll wait." And just like that, the Emperor returned to his duties. The court trembled. The general sighed. The best friend suffered. And the docile alpha consort became the biggest menace the palace had ever seen, while the ruthless Enigma Emperor became a shameless, lovesick fool. Chapter 3. Chaos in the Palace. If there was one thing everyone in the Empire agreed on, it was that peace had officially died the moment the Emperor's docile alpha consort opened his eyes. Playing their roles failed immediately. With no way back to their original world, the four of them came to one conclusion. They would live as the people they had transmigrated into. A reasonable decision. A logical decision. A decision that lasted exactly 3 hours. Attempt number 1. The morning assassination. Eldon was reviewing court documents. Calm, elegant, completely focused. A perfect emperor. Until a dagger flew past his cheek. Thud. It embedded into the throne behind him. The entire court froze. Zayd stood at the entrance, arms crossed, expression annoyed. "Missed," Eldon said softly, touching the small scratch on his cheek. "You're getting rusty." "I wasn't aiming to miss," Zayd replied coldly. Eldon smiled. "Try again." "The ministers." "What?" Attempt number 7. Poison tea. Eldon took a sip. Paused. Looked at Zayd. "You added poison." "Yes." "Strong one." "Yes." Eldon hummed thoughtfully, then drank the rest. The court watched in horror. "Why are you like this?" one minister whispered. Eldon placed the cup down gently. "Because it's from him." Zayd slammed the table. "Why are you still alive?" Laurent, standing nearby, deadpanned. High resistance, unfortunately. Attempt number 13. Sword in the corridor. Zayd attacked without warning. Fast, precise, deadly. The guards panicked. The servants screamed. The Emperor dodged effortlessly. Not because he was better, but because he knew Zayd. Every move, every step, every intention. Zayd lunged. Eldon caught his wrist, pulled him closer, and kissed him. Right there, in the middle of the corridor. Silence. Absolute silence. Zayd froze. Then, bam. He punched Eldon straight in the face. You're disgusting. Eldon, slightly bruised, smiled softly. Again? I will kill you. I'll be waiting. The court's daily suffering. Minister number 1. Your Majesty, the grain supply. Crash. Zayd just broke a vase. For dramatic effect, he said. Minister number 2. Why? Zayd shrugged. Felt like it. Minister number 3, whispering. Wasn't the consort supposed to be gentle? Minister number 2. He threw a chair yesterday. Minister number 1, at the Emperor. Minister number 3, and he survived. Minister number 2, unfortunately. Meanwhile, the second couple, a breath of sanity. Compared to the chaos of the main couple, Yvonne and Laurent were normal. Mostly. Yvonne, now an Omega, was adjusting surprisingly well. Laurent, as always, was composed, reliable, and slightly done with everything. You should stop them, Yvonne said one day, watching Zayd chase Eldon with a dagger across the courtyard. Laurent sipped his tea. No. Why? They won't listen. Fair. Silence. Then, are you hurt? Laurent asked suddenly. Yvonne blinked. What? Earlier? You blocked that falling pillar? Oh. Yvonne shrugged. It's nothing. Laurent frowned slightly. Be careful. Yvonne smiled faintly. You too. And just like that, a quiet understanding began. Soft. Slow. Unspoken. Domestic chaos. Night edition. Zayd lay on the bed. Far. Very far. Like he was trying to escape the mattress itself. Eldon entered calmly. Looked at the distance. Really? Yes, Zayd replied. Eldon walked over. Lay down. Pulled him closer. Zayd immediately pushed him. Don't touch me. Eldon pulled him back. Sleep. I will stab you. You've said that before. I mean it. I know. Zayd glared. Eldon closed his eyes. Arms still wrapped around him. Annoying, Zayd muttered. But he didn't move away again. Ruling the kingdom surprisingly functional. Despite everything, they were good rulers. Eldon. Strategic. Ruthless when needed. Feared and respected. Zayd. Sharp. Unpredictable. Brutally honest. Court discussion. Minister, we should increase taxes. Zayd. No. Minister. Why? Zayd. Because it's stupid. Eldon. He's right. Minister. I have another day. General. The northern border. Zayd. Send reinforcements. Eldon. Already done. Zayd glanced at him. Not bad. Eldon smiled like he just received a marriage proposal. And just like that, 1 year passed. The chaos didn't stop. It just changed. Zayd stopped trying to kill Eldon daily, reduced it to occasionally. Still bratty. Still violent. Still absolutely not docile. But he didn't push Eldon away as much anymore. Didn't leave the bed. Didn't reject his presence completely. Eldon got worse. Much worse. More obsessed. More attached. More soft. Still got beaten up regularly. Still smiled every time. Still kissed Zayd whenever he got the chance. One quiet night, Zayd lay beside him. Not far. Not resisting. Just there. Eldon looked at him. Softly. Lovingly. Like he always did. What? Zayd muttered. Nothing. Then stop staring. I can't. Why? Because it's you. Zayd clicked his tongue. Idiot. But he didn't move away. And Eldon held him a little tighter. Chapter 4. Acceptance, Marriage, and Love. If there was one thing the palace had learned over the past year, it was this. Nothing about the Emperor and his Alpha consort was normal. Not their fights, not their conversations, and definitely not their version of romance. Courtship. According to Eldon, Knightwood did not give up. Not after a year. Not after countless threats. Not even after being stabbed lightly, poisoned regularly, and punched daily. He persisted. "Marry me," he said one morning. Zaid didn't even look up from his tea. "We're already married." Eldon leaned closer. "I meant properly. Define properly." As Eldon and Zaid. Zaid paused. Slowly turned to him. "You're still on that?" "Yes." "You're unbelievable. And you're mine." Zaid threw a spoon at his head. The slow shift. But something had changed. Subtle. Barely noticeable. Zaid no longer attacked him on sight. Didn't leave when Eldon entered a room. Didn't push him away every night. And sometimes, very rarely, he stayed. Meanwhile, the second couple blossoms. Compared to the chaos of the main pair, Yvonne and Laurent were almost peaceful. One evening, Yvonne sat on the palace steps, staring at the sunset. Laurent approached quietly, placing a cloak over his shoulders. "You'll catch a cold." "I won't," Yvonne replied, but didn't remove it. Silence settled between them. Comfortable, easy. "Why did you follow me?" Yvonne asked suddenly. Laurent didn't hesitate. "Because you were going." Yvonne blinked. "That's not an answer." "It is." Yvonne looked at him. Really looked. "You're serious." "I always am." A pause. Then Yvonne smiled faintly. "Then stay." Laurent did. The breaking point. It happened on a quiet night. No fights, no chaos, no assassination attempts. Zaid sat by the window. Eldon approached slowly, carefully, like approaching something fragile. "Zaid? What?" "Stay with me." Zaid didn't respond immediately. For once, he didn't reject him instantly. "You're persistent," he muttered. "Yes." "Annoying." "Yes." "A problem." "Yes." Zaid turned to him, eyes sharp but softer than before. "You won't stop, will you?" Eldon shook his head. "Never?" Silence. Then, "Fine." Eldon froze. "What?" "I said fine," Zaid snapped. "I'll accept it." For a second, the emperor of an entire empire forgot how to breathe. The first night, turning point. That night, something shifted. No threats, no resistance. Just choice. Zaid stepped closer first. Eldon didn't move. Didn't push. Didn't rush. For once, he waited. Zaid grabbed his collar. Pulled him down. "Don't get used to this." Eldon smiled softly. Too late. And then, the distance disappeared. Lights dimmed. Curtains swayed. And the night unfolded quietly. Not as a battle, but as something softer. Something chosen. After that night, everything changed. And yet, nothing changed. They still argued. Still fought. Still insulted each other daily. But now, there was warmth beneath it. Zaid still called him annoying. Eldon still called him beautiful. Zaid still hit him. Eldon still smiled. And every night, they stayed together. No more distance. No more pushing away. The Emperor's decision. "I want another wedding with my beloved." The court went silent. Zaid choked on his tea. "You what?" Eldon looked completely serious. "Can't I remarry my beloved again?" he said calmly. "Minister number 1. Your Majesty, that is unnecessary." Eldon. "It is necessary." Minister number 2. "The court will not approve." Eldon. "I don't care." Minister number 3. "This is improper." Zaid. "I agree." Eldon turned to him. "You said yes?" "I said I'd accept your courtship. And I accepted your acceptance." "That's not how that works." "It is now." Zaid stared at him. Then sighed. "You're impossible." "And you still said yes." Edge. The second wedding. And just like that, it happened. Against all opposition. Against all logic. The Emperor remarried his own spouse. This time, not as roles, but as themselves. Eldon didn't look at the court, didn't look at the ministers, only at Zaid, like nothing else existed. Zaid rolled his eyes. Stop staring. I can't. Idiot. Parallel, Love confessed. Around the same time, Yvonne and Laurent stood under the same sky. No chaos? Yvonne asked. For once, Laurent replied. Boring. Be peaceful. Yvonne smiled. Stay with me. Laurent stepped closer. I already am. And that was enough. Their marriage followed quietly right after Eldon and Zaid's marriage. Both of them were happy, Dr. Yvonne and Laurent. No chaos. No fights. Just steady, unwavering love. Late at night, Zaid lay on the bed. Eldon beside him. Close. Comfortable. Zaid glanced at him. You're smiling again. I always am when I'm with you. You're creepy. And you still married me. Regret is a thing. You don't regret it? Zaid didn't answer. But he didn't deny it either. Eldon pulled him closer. This time, Zaid didn't resist. And soon the rest of their night blurred into passion and sweat. Chapter 5. Pregnancy, Truth, and the Real Twist. If someone had told the kingdom a year ago that their terrifying Menace Alpha consort would one day become the most protected person in the empire, they would have laughed. Now, they didn't even dare breathe too loudly around him. He's pregnant. The news spread like wildfire. Zaid stood in the royal chamber, arms crossed, clearly irritated. Why is everyone staring at me? Because the once assassin, now chaos incarnate Alpha, was pregnant. Eldon, meanwhile, had completely lost his mind. Eldon, the overprotective emperor era. Don't walk too fast. I'm walking normally. Sit. I just sat. Rest. I just woke up. Eat. I just ate. Eldon gently fed him another bite anyway. Zaid stared at him. I will kill you. Eldon smiled softly. You can try after the baby is born. You're enjoying this. Very much. Kingdom celebration. The entire empire rejoiced. Lanterns lit the capital. Feasts lasted for days. People prayed for the royal heir. Meanwhile, Zaid sat on the throne, eating fruits aggressively. All this for a baby? Eldon leaned beside him. Our baby. Still annoying. You're glowing. Say that again and I'll throw this plate. I'll catch it. Idiot. Pregnancy Journey, Chaos Edition. Zaid was still Zaid. He argued with ministers, threatened generals, nearly threw a scroll at Eldon. But he also slept more, stayed closer, allowed Eldon to hover occasionally. Late nights, Zaid would unconsciously lean into Eldon. And Eldon would stay awake, just watching him, like he was everything. The birth. The palace fell silent that night. Hours passed. Tension filled the air. Until a cry echoed. Then another. 2. Eldon froze. Twins? The royal physician smiled. Yes, your majesty. The heirs of the empire. A boy and a girl. Eldrick Nightwood, the elder son. Zarya Nightwood, the younger daughter. Eldon held them carefully, like they were the most fragile things in the world. Like they were miracles. Zaid lay on the bed, exhausted, watching him. Why are you staring like that? Eldon's voice softened. They look like you. Good, at least they won't be annoying. They'll be perfect. We'll see. The moment that changed everything. As Eldon held the twins, something shifted. A memory. A feeling. A pull. And far behind them, Yvonne and Laurent stood silently, watching. The truth they never told. Because they remembered. Everything. Flashback. The real story. This world was never new. It was always theirs. Eldon was not just an emperor. He was the true Enigma king. Zaid was never docile. He was the only alpha who could stand beside him. Fierce, wild, unbreakable, and deeply loved. Yvonne and Laurent, not just companions, but loyal subjects and lovers long before any of this. The curse. Years ago. A curse threatened the balance of their world. a force that distorted yin and yang, life and power itself. Eldon and Zayd fought it together, and they won. But victory came with a cost. They were thrown into another world, Earth, without memories, without identities. Just two lost souls, the 8 years versus 1 month. On Earth, they lived 8 years, became Zayd and Eldon, met again, fell into obsession and chaos. In this world, only 1 month passed. But that 1 month was enough to unbalance everything. Yvonne and Laurent's mission. They never forgot. Because of the royal mage's magic, their memories remained intact. So they acted. Told the court, the king and queen are on a journey. Stabilized the kingdom, traveled to Earth. And there, they stayed beside them. As a best friend, a secretary, not as rulers, not as subjects, but as something closer. Family. The plan. They waited, watched, protected, until the right moment. When both of them had found each other again. When their bond reformed. That's when they used the artifact. The book. A portal disguised as fiction. And when Zayd threw it, the magic activated and brought them home. Back to the present. Yvonne exhaled slowly. We did it. Laurent nodded. Our king and queen are back. They watched as Eldon held the twins. Zayd watched them, still annoyed, still soft. Still theirs. Chaos and love. Eldon walked towards Zayd, still holding the babies. Sat beside him. Close. Very close. Zayd glanced at him. Stop staring. I can't. Why? Eldon smiled. Because I love you, my love. Zayd clicked his tongue. You're still annoying. But he shifted slightly closer, letting him stay. Behind them, Yvonne and Laurent stood quietly, relieved, happy, at peace, because everything was finally where it belonged. The kingdom was safe, the balance restored. The king and his alpha were home, their children, the future. And yet, Zayd still threatened murder daily. Eldon still smiled like a fool. And chaos? It wasn't going anywhere. Because some things never change. And maybe they weren't meant to.